Hello and welcome back to Railroader. So today we are here going to be running out the rest of our passenger line. Have turned around and made a few expansions, additions, things like that. So I figure we'll run down all of that while we get going. As you can see, we did add a another passenger car to the service. It was one of the heavy cars. So we have these that hold 60, and then we have this one now that holds 50. And it kind of goes with the heavy observation car. Kind of take a jump up in there real quick. Oh, got the trapdoor thing. Gotta let that open up. So no gated in between. But then as you can see, you do get like a little tunnel thing going on here. Some cabins. And then you get the passenger seating. These do come with lights, so that's kind of a cool feature with these. And then we head out to the same on the other side. There's a little walkthrough of the heavy passenger car, if you will. Adds 50. Yeah, alright. Our passengers, we probably have more passengers than we can do anything with anyway. Pull that up real quick. Those are all stops behind us, so we will be heading on down the line. Which, let's go ahead and grab a hold of this quick. We'll do that. Go ahead and jump on board this loco. Groovy. Alright, we have a few freight cars out on the front of the passengers as we are kind of just collecting those up for the end of the day. But we will get headed down the line. We have expanded the line. That's the next big thing we got to talk about. We did turn around and finish all of the Lorca Junction stuff, obviously, out there. Had that going on, and then right as soon as we finished that, we turned around and picked up the Sylva Line. So that's what we'll be running today, is down to the Wilmot and Dillsboro and Silva. Dropping these freight cars down at the interchange, and we will be taking the passengers, obviously, to their stops along the way. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. That's the new extent of the line. Does add quite a bit. I think it's like 10, 12 miles, something like that, each direction down there. And of course it moves the interchange down to Silva. So that's a big one. Some big industries down there. Added a lot of cars. As soon as we get through the yard stuff here, make sure everything is good. And that we get through everything here civilized. Probably going too fast already, actually. If we're not gonna stop, I don't know, how hard is it for us to get water here? Is everything out of the way? If we can grab water, I think we'll grab some water before we go, because this is mostly an uphill push. Not like it's a big uphill push, but it is a little bit of a grind on the way up there. So I think we'll throw a little bit of water in here just to be safe. And then we'll kind of go over the finances. Turned around and came up with a pretty good finance day, the last day there on the railroad. Freight's definitely moving up. Alright, we'll roll this along. Oh. Alright, that wasn't too good. A little short. The Atlantic has been doing a great job, I have to say. It's still one of my favorite locomotives. It never really lets down, you know. Does a great job with things. Especially for the price. Not quite enough. Not that we really use it for freight much. It's mainly passenger service, but it does a great job. So, well, that is filling because that's going to take a little bit. Obviously, this thing holds a lot. So we'll go over the daily report. Last day on the railroad, as you can see, we did about just under 1,900 passengers, 1,800 and some change, which is about what we've been doing. But because of the extension in the line, it added quite a bit more money. We did 5,700 in passengers, which is a daily high. We hadn't been much over 5,000 before that. So almost 6,000 in passengers without having to pick up the number of passengers. So it's definitely paying off. The longer tickets, longer passenger tickets are definitely worth more money. And then you can see we did get a big, huge jump in freight, over 100 freight deliveries for the day, which turned around to give us like 10,000 in freight. So about $15,000 actually for the day in profit, which, income actually, because we spent quite a bit. And yeah, actually right now we're just working back up over $4,000. But here's some of the recent runs, or at least what we're working on kind of in the current day, just to give a little bit of a rundown. A lot of freight and not so many passengers, but the passengers are definitely paying more money now. So there you go, more stops, a lot more stops on the line, which is one thing. When you bring this up and you take a look at passengers, obviously now we have quite a few more stops on the line. Some pay great. The further distant passenger tickets obviously pay a lot better. Alright, there we go. What good timing. Let's close that. And head on down the rail. Get the brake off there. Alright, make sure that the rest of this we are switched decent. Don't need to go barreling out of this end. Notice that speed here can bite you. That's for sure. Alright, there we go. It should give us a decent start sliding that up. Grab some speed if we can. Now that we have plenty of coal, plenty of water, we definitely don't have anything to worry about as far as getting down there. So we will let that go. Alright. These hopper cars coming out of the Robinson, I think it's a Robinson coal gap, those are heavy for sure. So are the copper cars coming out of the Alarka Junction. Those things, yeah, pretty heavy loads there. Oop. There we go, going too fast anyway. There you can hear it screaming. Not too bad, I guess, but that's because it slowed down much. There you go. Not trying to break much. We still haven't had much broke. We had a little damage free rolling some cars the other day down at Alarka Junction, because you can kind of gravity feed the copper cars right down to the yard that's there, the little holding yard that's there. One might have got a little too much speed in it or something, but it was a 1% damage, so we returned, and that was a return car, so probably docked $1 or something and pay there for that, but that's not a big thing. Obviously it happens. Turn around and get down here. We do have a stop at Wilmot. Barker's is just a siding. That's like what is it, Governor's Junction or whatever that is. Governor's Island. That's what it is. That one. Gov Island. So this run's pretty cool. I like the run down here to Silva. $10,000 to add it, and then there was a yard and a engine service. Those were both, I think, 4 or 5,000 dollar upgrades. I think it was 37 something with the discount, 37.50 or something like that with the discount. There's actually, I can probably pull that up. They're probably somewhere right there. There's the Dillsboro yard, 37.50. So those we did get going, and then we turned around and started out the next build project there. So that'll be coming a couple of days worth of build stuff there. And then there's the Palace car that we bought. That one was $6,000. The new sawmill contract at Tier 4 paid, we got, $4,440 out of that. So that certainly added to the day's pay. Good standouts there. Robinson Coal paid pretty good. That's a good standout, as we get moving along. So the railroad's definitely starting to pick up and make a little bit of money at this point, making things a little bit easier to acquire and go forward. That's for sure. Be adding some new locomotives soon. Alright, let's see what I can do. We're getting this on here. Move that down here for those that kind of want to follow along with where we are on the map. We'll stick that there, and we'll just kind of take in the sights. Thomas Valley, I think is what this is on here. Oh yeah, there it is on the map actually. Thomas Valley, boom. So who knows, maybe with the sign and something, plenty of open space in here, this could be one of those that they're planning to add something to the industry. Don't know, definitely have no idea, but would be cool to see that as more things are added to the game. Or if that's something you build up after doing stuff, who knows, I don't know, that might still be out there. Definitely looking forward to updates in the coming roadmap. I know there was talk about a coming roadmap for the game, so it'll be interesting to see where they're going with it. For sure, having a lot of fun playing it at this point. A lot of operations to be done. This pushing out to Silva, definitely not a speed run. The way back, like, basically you can coast the whole way. So this whole thing is a push uphill on the way out there. So something to be aware of when you're pushing a lot of weight. You are going to burn a fair amount of water and a fair amount of coal on this run. Although we have done it with, the starting locomotives, we've run freight back and forth on this already, or at least run empties back. Because the day that we started the Silva thing, as soon as you start that, it moves your interchange down there. So where we had a bunch of cars in the interchange to be picked up at East Whittier there, then as soon as we did the Sylva line, we had to move all of that down to the interchange at Silva. So that's something to be aware of too, because if you do it too close to your drop time, you're not going to be able to get everything down there in time. So that would be something to watch out for. Are we not picking up Dillsboro people, or is the train can't possibly be full? Are we full? Oh, we are full. Okay, there we go. Train's still full of passengers, so onward we go. We got a few stops that the train was full for, so that we couldn't pick up people. So we will have to run this down the line and get it back. Just kind of trying to hope that we can get it in this final run with some light on the track for taking a look at what's down here before it got too dark. So I'd like to see what we can make for progress on that. One stop down, 2 to go. Let's get on it. I'm just show it, you know, we'll just run it and try to pick it up. It's going to cost a little more water, a little more coal, but we'll try to get going while we still got some daylight left, because it's not going to last for long, that's for sure. We're cutting this one close. Knew it was coming down to the end of the night. Trying to kind of trying to avoid shooting at night so much, as I don't know that it will make for the greatest in the video anyway. Gets a little dark at night sometimes in the game, that's for sure. Not that you can't operate and stuff, you definitely can. I just don't know that it makes for the best video, so try not to do a heck of a lot of shooting at night. Still definitely running trains. We haven't slept, you know, in the game for, I don't know. We don't sleep in this. We just pass time by the hour at best. We're taking power naps. So alright, let's keep it running. Probably drop this down a little bit. Alright. Not a lot of worry, I don't think, because this train's going to weigh enough that I just don't think we're going to pick up too much speed to where it matters. I don't know how much we can get this going. Most of this line seems to handle 35, 40 miles an hour, no problem. Haven't really had a lot of problems. Had a little bit on the little whoop down here at mile marker 50, but that was also at, like, you know, 40, I don't know, 45 miles an hour or something like that. The train was scooting along, definitely, for sure. So, but in the 35, 40 mile an hour range, we haven't really run into any problems on this line, as we're hitting every tree branch in the forest. Running out of daylight. Trying to get there. It's probably going to be dark by the time we're rolling into Silva, which is going to be a little bit of a bummer, but only so much one can do about that. We'll just keep pounding away. Yeah, you can see the light is starting to disappear, especially behind the mountains. We'll give it a go. There we go. Parker siding. What is that? Almost looks like a light up there. There's no way. What is that? Alright, just the way I was gonna say. There's absolutely no way that there's another train out here on the track, because you would see it. So that one was reflective from a distance. Oh, we have the siding up here. That's true. I think this is the siding with the tree, right? Yeah, for sure it is. So here we go. This is one that's kind of cool. I think credit for this. Little truck there, held up at the siding, obviously waiting on the train. So that's super cool. I mean, huge props that that's there. Just looks awesome. Adds to the game. Doesn't matter to me what it's doing. It's awesome. That's cool. That was an awesome ad to see there. I like that one a lot, actually. Good stuff. Hopefully we see more of that kind of thing added along the way. It'd be really cool. I do think, like, I've heard that that's supposed to be the plan, that they're going to do, you know, populate more things along the way, and whether that stuff will ever move or it'll just be static along the way, who knows. But yeah, it's good to see that that's something that they're thinking about and is there. Little treat as you go by. It's always kind of cool. go. Oh, the light is fading fast. Fading fast. We're pushing it. This is the only one little whoop somehow right here on this turn. But again, we were doing mid 40s and it was just squealing really super hard. Didn't break anything, but so we cautious at least, keep her in the mid 40s around this neighborhood. 40's moving along pretty good, I guess. I don't know. I know some of the guys are zoom, but we haven't really had any breakage on the railroad at this point, so that's still holding up pretty good. But this corner in here at too high a speed, that section there can get a little sketchy. I will say that. Alright, there we go. We start collapsing this down. And it looks like we have the other tunnel in here. I do often forget that this is even here. Turn the yellow headlight on, not that I think it's going to make much of a difference. As we go through the tunnel into the darkness. This tunnel curves off to the right a little bit. And here we go. Roots. That's pretty good. There we go, coming out of the tunnel. See that one? Should have been behind it, but I should have looked back. I've never seen what what all the smoke does really in the tunnel. Alright, so one of the add-ons that we did do is the Dillsboro. I'll zoom in here on the map as we get to this. This is the Dillsboro yard that you add coming up here, which makes this corner a lot cooler. There is like a starting 3-track roundhouse down there at the corner, so we'll see that on the left side, but the tracks through the corner, you'll see that is the added yard, which could be very advantageous, obviously, as you're pulling out bigger trains and getting them gathered up to go down the rail. So we turned around and dropped it in about as fast as we possibly could just to make things convenient down here. When you do the engine service facility, that's going to be how you get a coal tower down here. There is water down here, but the coal tower comes from that. And you also get a water tower added when you add that, so you ended up with 2 water things down here and coal. So here you can see the yard tracks. And then the engine shed that you do get down here, which is pretty cool. Little 3-stall turntable, some exterior storage. That's great. Then here's what you add with the coal, another water. And then I think there was water up at Dillsboro yet too, up at the station up here. Where we will be stopping, being that we have the passengers on board. Just about done with the line. That station didn't pay a lot. Whittier did alright at 180. Ella almost 100. Bryson. Not too bad with the payoff on the stops, but as long as the passenger train is full, at some point in here when these all get off, it's gonna pay pretty good. So looking forward to seeing that. There we go with the lighting coming in. Probably just actually turn that off now that we're out of the tunnel. So for passenger service, you can use the line right next to it. You can also use the second one over. Most of them you can use 2 lines for passenger service. I know some people haven't noticed that, so that's something I guess worth pointing out as we're doing it. have gotten comments about that. All right, Whittier, Bryson, Alarka, Hemingway. Yeah, I think that takes care of everybody. There we go, 137. And there's the other water that you have down here in Dillsboro. So plenty of water. As you can see, we still have plenty of coal and water in the logo. Moving this down, we definitely are going to be cutting it on light. Silva is the final passenger stop, and then we do have a little run down to the interchange. We still have these three out front. We can turn around and go to, well, I guess we don't even need to bring that up. Turn around, just looking at these. Turn around and go over to the operations, and you can see this one's going to pay 97 when we drop it. I think the other one's, it's going to be, I don't know, about 300 bucks, close to 300 anyway, 250 bucks for just dropping off those three cars anyway, something like that. So, you know, a little bit of money will be in there too. So that's the benefit, I guess, for slowing down the passenger run a little bit on the run down here. Take a look at that. Now with the more stops, I mean, they do add up. You're not getting those, I guess, at least I'm not tending to get those $400 and $500 or $500 drops, you know, but they seem to be picking up overall as long as the train is full. I mean, again, yesterday, record-setting passenger numbers, and I thought we ran a lot less passengers, or at least a lot less times up and down the line. So passengers are starting to pay off again, which is cool. Had a couple of days where they were down to under 3,000, and now they're, you know, 5,000 a day, I guess, in passenger service. We're not going to complain too much here on this railroad. The 10,000 in freight's kind of mind-blowing, so that was cool. Profitable day. Looks like we're coming up on another one of the locomotives down here at the station. Number 4, that's going to be the Pacific. It's just kind of chilling down here, waiting for tomorrow's day. It already brought back a pretty heavy load of cars that we have out at the interchange. The Robinson coal cars and the copper cars were all in there, so it did a pretty good job pulling all of that. It's an adequate freight, I'd have to say, with the Pacific. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not like it's not working its butt off, but it does pull a fair amount of freight all on its own. We have pulled trains in the 1,800 ton mark with that one all by itself and all the way up. Actually, we should be slowing down a little bit here. It's probably a little fast just to go ripping through the switches. But we have run trains in the 1,800 mark and that 100 ton mark all the way up to Alarka with that one and not had any problems. So it does do a pretty good job of hauling freight, even though it's working for it, obviously, at that point. Alright, that's good enough. Getting our passenger. There we go. 132 passengers are waiting. Looks like we have 8 active waybills down here. So we have the 3 here and apparently 5 more in some of the things up here. So that's something we'll kind of have to take a look at. Right, I think what we can do at this point is we could jump on here. Oop, and go ahead, pop this loose. Alright, then we'll just jump on here. Oh, I actually, well, whatever. We'll push these forward. I am not going to turn around and do a bunch of switching at the end of this video. This has been a long enough one, but we'll go see what we have up here at the end of the line, and what are the other. There's 5 more cars up here somewhere, right? They gotta be ready. We're doing something. All right, let's get that moving. Now that we lost a little bit of weight, it should be a little easier. These hopper cars are, they're hefty to put. They're hefty to push. They're hefty to move around. You can definitely feel them. Oh, there we go. $669. So there was the big payoff. $606. Wow. Whoa. All right, $669 for how many passengers was that? 669 for 168 fares. So there you go. That one's paying pretty good. So here you can go. The Silva. It's like the Silva Tannery is basically what's here. And I'm sure there's a few more other things actually in here, but we'll just kind of take a look. Fortunately, it's getting a little dark. That's about as fast as I can get down here. So there's that. We'll just kind of roll into here. Okay, so there's 2 more of our cars right there. 2, 3, 4. There they all are. So right there. So actually, we're going to turn around and just bring this to a rest in here, as we definitely have some work to do around here. And this is the new industry, so we'll just kind of take a little bit of a fly around. As you can see, woo, right through the building. A lot of yards, or a lot of line, a lot of switches, a lot of holding. It's kind of cool, fun. Still working it out. I haven't figured it all out. We've only been down here for 1 day and just had these first sets of cars, so everything looks like it's finishing up here at the end of the first day for Silva. So that's just kind of where we're at, but it definitely contributed to a very profitable day on the railroad. But I think with that one, we're going to call it a win and say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.